On today's episode of Agents Without Borders, we're thrilled to welcome a culinary artist who's redefining what it means to inspire the next generation of food lovers. From working in Michelin-starred kitchens to creating her innovative cooking program, Taste Buds for Children in Boise, Idaho, she's bringing passion, creativity, and joy to every plate. Please welcome Jessica Ozuna.
Hey, welcome back. We are so excited because we are here with a recently acquired friend, Jessica Ozuna from Boise, Idaho. We just met this summer and she blew us away. She has a degree in culinary arts, which is super unique, and she's worked at a Michelin-star restaurant. I'm most excited because recently she just developed a cooking class for children and it's called Taste Buds and it's so cute. I follow her on social media and follow along. And her community is so lucky to have her. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Jessica, so excited.
So start off by telling us a little bit about your story. Like, start at the beginning of time.
Beginning of time. So I always knew I wanted to be a chef. That was like my identity since the day I was born, like knew it. Then I went to culinary school and got a degree in culinary arts. I worked in Michelin-star restaurants and I love it. I still love it. And I had trouble with a couple of things. Obviously, it is a grind. I knew I wanted to build a better life for myself. And working every night, every weekend, every holiday was just very challenging. More on that.
You're a mom of two, right?
Well, mom of two. I wasn't when I got out of the culinary industry because I knew that's what I wanted. And that's a lot of how I structured my real estate business. So more on that. But after that, I also, while I was in culinary school, I really struggled with an eating disorder. And that's like having an alcoholic work in a bar. Like it just wasn't working. So I had to take a step away. And when I did that, I just realized my mental health was so much better outside of the actual restaurant industry. I still got to cook every day. I still got all of that. So I moved back to my hometown, which is Boise, and I became a private chef and nanny for a family. They ended up getting divorced. So I was without a job and I ran into being an assistant in real estate. Lo and behold, I came to fall in love with it. I never would have saw myself in this industry. I think it relates a lot with pressure in the culinary industry. Grind, you have to have drive, you have to have passion. But I think what excited me a lot was there was no ceiling to who you wanted to be and what you wanted to achieve. It was the buck stops at you. Only you can give your results and only you can be successful. So I've just fallen in love since, and it's taken me some time. I'm 12 years into the industry, but I'm finally weaving the culinary world back in as you know, with taste buds and things like that.
And you're doing
that name. I just have to say, I love the name Taste Bud. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh my gosh.
I love a play on words.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
Thanks.
Well, and you're hosting an event for your clients this month. I was like, I just need to go to Boise and buy a house so I can go. But you're cooking a dinner for your past clients. Is that right?
Yeah. So before I built my business on open houses, door knocking, and I built a successful business from that through database repeats, referrals, and things like that. Well, I was previously the owner of a team, and now it's just me. And so I got into this situation where I had to kind of find my identity again. And with that, it's become more like playful and creative. And so little by little, it was almost like it just came to me. I didn't even have to try. I just found my identity in what I already knew, which was cooking. So I've got Taste Buds, which is a kids cooking club. And it's kids from 5 to 12, and I teach them how to cook things over a 6-week period. So nobody think that like I'm doing this full time. It's over a 6-week period, and I'll probably do a few stints a year. But it's really rewarding, really fulfilling. I love inspiring children's minds and bringing confidence into the world. So I've got that, but then I also have this private dining experience. So this one also came to me where I realized I can tie in my passion to the people who buy into me and support me. So I'm doing what I'm calling lovers and friends. It's always going to be around Valentine's Day. That's the play on words, but it's my clients who've referred me business or worked with me within the previous year. And I only cook for 24 people, and I do sell tickets. We're almost sold out. I just released it on Saturday. We're almost sold out already. And so it brings excitement. I get to give back to my people doing what I love. And you better believe, when I told people about it in December that this is what I'm going to be doing, I got a boatload of referrals. What I realized from that is your clients want to celebrate you, but if you have a passion, let's say you love baseball and you're really good at baseball. Maybe you went to college for baseball. You don't do it anymore, but you love it. Why not put on a fun baseball event or find a way to integrate it? Maybe teach kids how to do baseball. It's not only a great way to feed your passion and your hobby, but it's a lead generation tool without a doubt.
So you're weaving, I love the idea of weaving your passions and things you're good at and things that you enjoy doing into your business. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty of real estate and everybody being so individual that you can do that. And then that's going to be I love the idea of your clients want to celebrate that along with you because they
Yep.
want to know a little bit about Jessica. I think that's such a cool story.
Yeah, it's fun.
You can feel your excitement for it too. And so I feel like as you are weaving in, it just makes you excited to reach out to those past clients or referral partners and invite them to something that you love. Because I can just feel your excitement through the screen. You're so excited. I love that.
Yeah.
I have a
Well, I
question.
think it's inspiring too. And I'll
Very
just say one little thing around that. I've been thinking a lot about it just because I've been in the industry for 12 years. It can be sleepy, mundane, hamster wheel. I do feel reinvigorated because I found that identity. But the way I would liken it to anybody who might be listening that especially is new in the industry, real estate is just the car you're getting in every day. You can decide if you want to drive by Tumbleweed in Nevada, which is the most boring drive on the planet, or you can make it fun and entertaining and decide where you want to go and what you want to do with it. And that's what the message is ultimately for anybody who's trying to find out who they are in this industry.
I love that. It doesn't matter what the car looks like. It's where you take it, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So you're also certified as an NLP coach, right? Or certified NLP? So how did
I'm
you
certified in NLP.
You have so many I know you're learning Spanish right now. That's another thing I love about you is you're just always learning. So how did you get into the NLP?
Maybe for listeners, can you just describe what NLP is before?
Yes.
There's going to be people out there that don't know what that is.
Yeah. So NLP is neurolinguistic programming, which is just a fancy term for basically mindset, but more so tools. It's not just be positive and let's say some affirmations and gratitude every day. That's absolutely a tool, but these are really deep-seated integrative work around your programming and that the belief that we can change. Sure, we are who we are to our core, but I think a really cool example to give people of the tools that you get from it, and this is going to sound a little airy-fairy to some, but I took my very first NLP last year, and one of the tools you learn is how to break habits. And there's two things that they can teach you with that. I used to be literally addicted to Starbucks. I know anybody listening probably relates to some sort of weird, crazy addiction. Well, I broke that addiction at the class. I have not gone to Starbucks since. It's been the easiest, breeziest thing since. And I was so inspired by it, by the tools and things like that, that when I got home, my son used to bite his nails all the time. He's 7 years old. I was like, let's just try. I don't know if it's going to work. He's only 7. We did the techniques that they taught us around breaking it. He has not bitten his nails since. And so it's just inspiring to me that we are capable. We do have the tool.
What does that look like? How do you break a habit?
I know, right? There's so many different ways to do it, but with the Starbucks thing, you're just altering your programming. They have like a series that you go through and you listen to. It's not like hypnotism or anything like that, but you do have to do it with a partner. And they make you have such a distaste to it that you would never want it. Literally at the end of the activity, they somehow found a Starbucks cup and they brought it up to me while I was on the stage, and I was repulsed. The thought of it actually right now makes me feel sick. It's just a technique that they use to get back into the archives of your brain to retrain your brain. And what I shared when I met you guys, and what I think is most powerful or beyond that, is that 126 bits. So we get 2 billion bits of information at any moment, at any given time. But our brain can only digest 126 bits. So there's so much more to every single story. If you're in real estate and you're so attached to how a situation went or how angry you are with somebody, that is your 126 bits. And my best tip for that when you're thinking about 126 bits is whenever you're in a hard situation, this is that mindset thing. Whenever you're in a hard situation, maybe you're in an argument with somebody, your spouse, coworker, whatever it may be, and you can't see eye to eye, remember that all you have is your 126 and they have a completely different 126. The whole story is 2 billion bits. So if you can find a way to just think about what their story, their 126 might be, it's so much easier for us to get through life and for you to be on their side of the table. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but it's a way that you shift your mindset around it. And that's NLP.
That's so interesting.
I love it.
You're right. I feel like Jessica's like a 3-hour podcast interview because you have so many interests. I mean, that could be an hour in itself just talking to you about NLP. Because at the beginning of the podcast, we've neglected to mention that Jessica actually spoke at our Agents Without Borders in Boise. And it was incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing. I'm curious. So your oldest is 7. Your youngest is 2 or 3?
3, almost 4. Yeah.
Okay. How have you found balance in being a mom and being a real estate agent? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think it's funny because like you said, I also am in school for Spanish. I have a kids cooking club. I'm putting on an event. I sell a lot of real estate. What I learned from the culinary industry is that it's very important to set boundaries because otherwise everything goes to crap. When I left the industry, I knew I didn't want to work nights and weekends and be a slave to whatever it was I was doing. And so I set really clear expectations with clients in a way that feels valuable and serves them. Just a very simple example would be if we were sitting in a consultation, I would ask them, hey, I'm always available to you. I want to make sure that you're seeing a home. But if for some reason my schedule doesn't work or there's an open house for the home you want to see, are you okay if another agent shows you at that one time or you're going to the open house? And I'm gaining buy-in and permission for flexibility in my job as it is. So that's with real estate. But I also think the NLP piece and the mindset piece is giving yourself grace and determining what's really important. I have always struggled with high urgency and everything's felt important. But when you have kids, you get this perspective of how do I want to enjoy life? And it's a balance. If I work at 10 p.m., I'm choosing to do that. And honestly, I'm not too mad about it because what I got to do during the day, it's not for everybody. And before I had kids, I would have never worked at 10 p.m. But I don't mind doing the little nuanced things that I need to do before bed and then taking some time for myself and going to sleep. I think everybody gets this idea in their mind that the perfect person and the perfect agent wakes up at 5 a.m. and they do X, Y, and Z. And it's this regimented thing. And I used to be that girl. Ask anyone on the street. I was that girl. But balance and grace are the only way to get through it. And you are the only person who can decide what to do with your time.
I love that. I was also that girl. And
Yeah.
recently, I'm like, my body functions better if I wake up at 6:45. And so I shifted from 5:07 a.m. to 6:45. And it's the same. It's like you just have to make your time intentional because you only have 24 hours in a day. And it's like, what's my top priority? For me, it's my kids. For you, it's probably your kids as well. And you still have to find time for the real estate piece.
Yeah. Tools, systems, finding ways to be more efficient. And mindset is a big thing. I feel like I hear a lot of people in this industry say like, they took advantage of my time, or they took my time, or like, oh man, I wasted time on that, or whatever it may be. And I live with a very fierce, very strong mindset that no one has the power to take advantage of my time. I will even directly say that to a client. So if they say to me, I don't want to take your time, I say, oh, only I have the power to do that. And it's just, and I know that that sounds silly, but I want the universe to know I am the boss here, and I'm not interested in being a doormat for anybody. So if I feel like I wasted time doing something, that is not the client's fault. I'm the boss here. That was my choice. Some people might not align with that, but it's just my thing.
I love that.
You know, I was like, I can think of so many circumstances where I've heard other agents or myself, I've even said it. And as you were talking about it, I thought to myself, it's like, you know what? That's a choice that I made, right? To give my time to somebody or put my time into something. And if you even change your thought process to you learn something from that experience or that time you spent with those people, even though it didn't come to fruition to a paycheck or whatever, then at least it like gives yourself some grace, gives them grace, right?
Yeah, otherwise we will all walk around like feeling used and abused. You can very easily do
Angry.
that in this
Yeah.
industry. It is not rewarding.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope because your brain just wants to, it's an easy win for your brain, right? To go into that universe. And it's like, no, that's a choice that we've made. And it goes back to the, like, we've made the choice to be in this industry and there's so many advantages to it. And if you allow that piece to eat away at you, what do you got? Just bad vibes.
Totally.
Oh,
Exactly.
so you were an assistant when you first got started in real estate, and then you're like, hey, I could do this. So when you went on your own initially, you had said that you built your business on door knocking and open houses. And I run a small team, and my agents are like, open houses and door knocking don't work. And I'm like, baloney, because that's also how I built my business. So tell us about like, what was your strategy when you were doing open houses and door knocking, and how you use those tools to help build a sustainable business?
So a couple of things. It's between us three and whoever listens to this podcast. I've probably made a cold call less than 20 in my entire career. I've decided to build my business a way that makes sense for me and is authentic. And probably since day one, I knew that if I looked at business as relationship only, and I don't mean that in the like way that we all say it's a relationship business, but I look at every single person as a relationship, the rest will take care of itself. It's kind of like that oxygen mask thing. Like if you put your oxygen mask on, everyone can get taken care of. The way I look at it is like, if we have a relationship, the rest will get taken care of. So I say that because if I'm at an open house or I'm door knocking, I'm not looking at you as business. I'm not looking at you as a real estate transaction. I'm looking at you as, how can we build a relationship? So I'm finding the fastest, quickest way to open that door for me to continue to talk to you over time and it not be weird. So it doesn't work because you're probably looking at it as a transaction. But I go door knocking looking for relationships or looking to bring you to my open house to build a better relationship. One of my favorite door knocking scripts is, hey, I've got this house down the street, for example, that I'm listing next week. And I'm just wondering, do you know of any neighbors who might be thinking about selling their house or coming to look at this or know somebody who might be interested in seeing my listing? I don't ask them. I do anything possible to avoid you directly. So those are kind of my spiel, my shtick, how I approach it.
Love it. And then have you ever read this book, Unreasonable Hospitality?
No, I think I've heard about it this year. I need to.
Put it on your list because when you're talking about like how your experience in the restaurant industry kind of molded how you run your real estate business as well, he is talking about his experience at a restaurant and how they went above and beyond to make sure every client that came in to have a meal and enjoy a meal there just blew their expectations because they're expecting like, yeah, they're going to bring us food. It might take a long time. But there were all these little tiny things that they did along the way that made a huge difference in the customer experience. And it kind of sounds like you're already doing it. But it was interesting to me because I read it and some of my friends are like, well, that's like the restaurant industry. I'm like, yes. And you can like put it into any industry, really.
Totally. The idea is it's called like surprise and delight. You always want to like be aware of everything around you. An example would be last week, I just started a new Spanish school and the teacher was trying to use the Expo pen. I have one right here. She was trying to use her Expo pen. She had to take the pen off. She was holding a paper and she was trying to write and it was out of ink because she'd leave it with the cap off. And I watched that. You better believe I ordered clickable Expo markers and I'm bringing them tomorrow. Will it surprise and delight her? Yes, because I saw a problem and I'm filling it. So just look for problems, solve them, and people love to work with you. I love that book idea. I'm going to add that to my list. Have you read Nordstrom Way?
No, I'm going to read
It's very
that.
similar, but they have stylists and things like that and how they build those relationships. It's very similar, but for clothing.
I love
Well,
it.
it's
So
just the service
Stephanie,
industry, right? It's like you take your experience in the service industry and bring it to real estate. And instead of being transactional, your relationships have way more depth, right?
Yeah.
Which I love. I love that. Thinking about
do you ever feel like not motivated? Do you ever wake up in the morning and be like, I just really don't want to do my list today?
I do feel that way sometimes. And if that happens, my best solution usually is to like go for a walk or completely remove myself from the situation. I don't try to like grind through it because I've learned that that's the worst way to do anything. But I think actually come business planning almost every year, I have felt entirely drained. Like, do I really have to get on this effing hamster wheel again and determine how many transactions I'm going to do to reach XYZ goal? I've had a very lucky and blessed life. I have an amazing life. My business has funded that. But it just wasn't doing it for me. And this was the first year bringing Culinary in that I'm like, the world is my oyster. That's why I'm like, I should have done this long ago. Whatever it is that makes you happy, if it's your kids' sports, get into your kids' sports something or another. Find a way that it's like not hard and not painful.
Because life can feel good. It can feel as good as it looks.
Yeah. And I mean, we all have poo-poo days. On Monday, I was just not feeling the gym. I was not feeling the thing. So I stayed in my sweats. I did what I needed to do. And I felt better, way better the next day rather than trying to resist it. I probably would have felt worse if I tried to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving yourself some grace again. Just allowing yourself to move through that day in the way that you need.
And that's an NLP thing. Like that's a mindset thing. It's so easier said than done. It takes years to get to that point where you're like, okay with that.
And you just did a vision board planning event. How, like, tell us more about that, because I was watching from afar and I was like, that looks so fun and so amazing.
Yeah, I think that's another example. I'm always looking for ways to do what I love and generate business. So here I was, October, I always do my vision boards. I'm doing my vision board for myself. I do a personal one and a business one every year. And I'm like, I'm putting in my goals on this board. This is the perfect way to find out what my clients are looking to do and what's important to them and how I can bring them into the fold, if you will. So I was like, I just put it out there. Who wants to do a vision board party? And I gave it a week's time. Had I planned it, great. I probably would have had way more. I had 12 people come, 12 other people I wouldn't have known. And real estate was on like 4 of theirs. And they had other things that they wanted to do, like travel and things like that. So I can ping them different ideas and serve them in a way that's different. So that's an example of like, oh, I love vision boards. I already do them. Here's how I can utilize it.
I have a question about that. So did you just put it out on social media? Did you email your database?
That was it.
How did you just threw it out that way?
Well, because I got the idea like mid to late December and I was like, oh, I don't want to wait too long. We're already into the next year. I would have probably done it like first week of December or something like that. But I just was like, who wants to do this? And then a week later, like, here's the date. And it was a week later. So it was all a 2-week time. And I just did it on social media. Had I done it, like I said, to a bunch of people, I probably would have had like 40 people come and had to get a little space for it.
But
imagine getting 40 lives.
I wish I was in Boise. I would come to that.
Yeah. But imagine getting 40 lives of what they want to do that year. It's like, it's a turnkey opportunity to figure out how can I help serve them or somebody they know.
Well,
yeah, that impact
relate. How can you build that relationship? Like, it's like, oh, they put a trip on that you've been there, so you can chat about it, you can help them, like have a great trip, give them some tips and stuff, or learn from them. Like, they might see what you have, because you did a vision board at the same time. Did you? Or
I had already done mine. So if anybody tries to do this, do yours. Just be the hostess with the mostest.
Okay, that was
one
okay.
Who helps them out. We ran out of ink, so we just figured that out while people were doing their thing.
That's good.
But the other thing that I will say too that you wouldn't think of is, let's say somebody has like remodeling or something like that. That gives you the opportunity to be a liaison in relationships or travel. You get to put your travel advisor in with your client, or you get to put your contractor handyman in with your client, and you're serving your vendor who then gives you money for your other events. Like, it's a full wheel thing that feeds each other.
That's an amazing idea. I love
Do it. Let me know how it goes.
Oh my God.
I love what.
So you do your Michelin-Star service in everything you do, is what I'm hearing. Like, you just, when people think Michelin-Star, they always think restaurant, but they should be thinking real estate, business, family. How can you do that and enjoy every minute of what you're doing? I love that.
Michelin is a feeling. That's what I relate it to. Yeah.
That's your book name. That's your
Michelin is a feeling. Write that down. You're going to need that later.
That can be our podcast name.
I love it.
What?
We should get t-shirts made.
I love it.
I had so many big takeaways today. So do what I love and use it to generate business. Do the things I'm already doing. Surprise and delight, the Nordstrom way. Nobody can take my time. And Michelin is a filling. So good.
Love it. Good little recap.
If you had one piece of advice for maybe a newer agent, or maybe an agent who maybe they're used to closing more deals and last year is really hard for them. Maybe they only closed 4 or 5 deals. What piece of advice would you give that agent to jumpstart their business for this year?
I feel really lucky in the sense that I did what I advised, and I don't think I've ever closed less than 24 deals in a year. Like, after 24 was 36 and always been higher than that. So why I say that is because it's a bulletproof system for anybody who actually wants to apply it, and it's really not that hard, and it's the world is your oyster. Learn as much as you possibly can. Go to all the classes, read all the books. But my number one advice, go find the top 5 to 10 producers in your market center or in your area. Go take them to coffee or lunch and find out how they're being successful. My very first year, I sat down with the top 3 producers that had sold 60 or more homes. And what I gained from those conversations was amazing. And I also had a handful of agents do their consultations on me so I could understand what are the different ways and different styles and have my own identity.
I love that. And I think some agents might be scared to reach out to a top producer because it could be intimidating. But the truth is, most likely they want to help you grow too.
I think top producers are top producers simply because they want to inspire people.
Yeah.
And it's very fulfilling and rewarding when somebody reaches out to you because you feel like, oh, wow, I did it. I get to give back to the person who helped me when I was in their shoes. Don't be afraid.
Collaboration over competition. I love it.
Every day, all day long.
Mic drop.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful that you're willing to take time.
Amazing.
It was good to see you guys. Thank you.